Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्य माता भाई चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन वेरी फाउंडराचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशिष्य माता भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बिंद की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री गौर निताई की श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह भगवान की समवेत गौर भक्त बिंद की श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. It will not move up a little bit. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादन् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिष्ठे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखम करति वाचलम पंगुल लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वंदे श्री गुरुदिनकारिणं परमानंद माधवम श्री चैतन्येश्वरम। Hare Krishna. So we'll be continuing our discussion on Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. Yesterday, we stopped at Remuna, right? If you remember, Madhavendra Puri got an order in the dream to get sandalwood for Gopal. He got that order in Vrindavan, and he is supposed to come to Jagannath Puri. Long distance. That time, transport was not so convenient, so he had to walk. No flight, no car or train. He had to walk. And Madhavendra Puri was very old, very old. But he was very jubilant to serve, to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because that is the desire of a person who attains the level of Prema Bhakti. And Madhavendra Puri is not only having Prema Bhakti, he has the highest level of Prema. So he started his journey immediately. Then he came to Bengal. He went to the house of Advaita Acharya and initiated him also. After that, he came to Remuna. And Mahaprabhu is narrating this first time at Remuna only. It's the origin. Madhavendra Puri's devotional service subject matter. The origin is Remuna. And Mahaprabhu told his associates that I heard this first time from my spiritual master, Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri is the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And Sriman Mahaprabhu is a disciple of Ishwarapuri. This is the parampara. And Srila Prabhupada always talks about this principle being chaste to the parampara. Chastity is very important. And what is the chastity to Guru Parampara? Whatever has been spoken by the previous Acharyas should be repeated as it is, without our own concocted ideas. Kali Yuga is a Yuga of concocting on so many things, especially on spiritual subject matter. And many people get influenced by that. Even after practicing devotional service, we try to have our own ideas. Because mundane intelligence gives a lot of ideas. But if those ideas are not in the line of Guru Parampara, these ideas should be rejected. Therefore, having idea is good, but that should be in the line with Guru Parampara. Thoughts, talks, philosophy, everything should be in the line of Guru Parampara. Otherwise, it should be rejected. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows everything, right? Who is Lord? Who knows everything. But he is also following Parampara. He is not telling that I know what happened, why I need a spiritual master. I know everything. But he is following the same system, because that is a very important system. Although he does not have to follow that system, but he is still following it to set examples. That is the quality of great person. Great person doesn't have to do so many things. Or that Thakur doesn't have to chant, because he already perfected. Still he is chanting the holy name. Why? To set examples. That is the principle. Otherwise, people may misinterpret. Oh, Haridas Thakur was not chanting. I also achieve perfection, then I should not also chant. That happens. Imitators will come. That's why, in order to protect the general population from cheating propensity, our acharyas acted as a Vaidhi sadhaka, although they have attained the level of Prema Bhakti. The principle is that someone who has attained the level of Prema Bhakti also follow the same principle of Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. If you see the life of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, other Goswamis, Haridas Thakur, everybody followed very strictly the rules and regulations of sadhana bhakti. Why? Because people may misuse the concept of Raganuga Bhakti. People may misuse the concept of Bhava Bhakti. People may misuse the concept of Prema Bhakti. It is explained in Nectar of Instruction that if someone dips into the water of Radha Kund, after he comes out, he will develop Gopi's love for Krishna. So you may think many people are doing that, but why is not happening? So must be something wrong in the water nowadays. Then why it's not happening? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains who is qualified to dip into the water of Radhakund, who has attained the level of Bhava. Who has Bhava Bhakti, then when he enters into Radhakund, then when he comes out, what will happen? He will attain Prema. So water is same, but people have to be qualified. Who can do bhajan at Radhakund? Because Nectar of Instruction says that doing bhajan at Radhakund in the perfection of all life, highest perfection. It's true. But who can do bhajan at Radhakund? Who has attained the level of Bhava. Everybody is to be qualified. Without qualification, if someone does something, that is cheating. That is sahajiya. Things taken very cheaply. And that's the tendency we will have. Because after Mahaprabhu's disappearance, the teachings of Mahaprabhu was completely lost. And different upasampradayas are manifested and totally distorted the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Especially in Bengal, gentlemen did not take Mahaprabhu's teaching seriously because it was presented in a very distorted way. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur came and revived the teachings again. So keeping the teachings intact is the primary responsibility of Guru Parampara. So therefore we have to keep the instructions, keep the teachings as it is, protected. For that we need to be very, very pure. So Mahaprabhu is explaining this pastime of the great personality, Madhavendra Puri, who is the spiritual master of his spiritual master. So he is not jumping. He is becoming loyal to his spiritual master. He is not trying to have direct access to Madhavendra Puri. That is a principle. When Raghunath Das Goswami was entrusted to Sarup Damodar Goswami, so Raghunath Das Goswami never tried to have direct access to Mahaprabhu. He always interacted with Mahaprabhu through the transparent via medium of Sarup Damodar Goswami. That is a system. And that is the mood we should cultivate. And that is pleasing to Krishna. That is pleasing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But for our ego, we think direct access means I am advanced. I have direct access. I don't need anybody. I have direct access. But that is not the mood. If you become more advanced, then you will become more humble. That is a symptom of advancement. Humility is a symptom of advancement, not having the direct access. Nobody can have direct access to Krishna. That system is not allowed at all. Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to have direct access to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu rejected him. But when he took shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu did not accept him unless and until he satisfies the Vaishnavas. So everybody follows the system. We have to follow the system. So Mahaprabhu is not only talking, he is also following the system. So we also have to follow the system given by Krishna, given in the scriptures. Very, very important. This is the chastity. This is the loyalty. This is the humility. This is the qualification needed to understand Krishna consciousness. So Madhavendra Puri came there and he was very attracted by the beauty of Gopinath deity. And he also saw so many varieties of offering are happening. And he also saw how beautifully the deity is dressed. So he wanted to know different standards of worship from the Pujari. So that is a symptom of love. When you love someone, then you always try to improve the service. Madhavendra Puri had a very wonderful standard of deity worship at Govardhan. But when he saw the worship standards of Gopinath at Remuna, he wanted to know the standards and trying to understand how it can be implemented in his worship to Gopal. And when that Amrita Keli, that kheer, the famous aspect of the pastime, was offered, Madhavendra Puri was thinking in his mind that if I could have tasted this kheer, then I can understand the taste, then I can offer the same to Gopal. He was thinking in mind. But after some time, he started thinking that I offended the deity. This bhoga is supposed to be offered to the Lord, but I wanted to taste. So he felt very, what I can say, he was very much lamenting for this offense. And he thought, better I go from this place. He left the place, and in a little distant place, in a marketplace, he started chanting the holy name of the Lord. But Lord is Bhavagrahi Janardhan. He thought my devotee wanted to taste kheer. So he became very much in anxiety how to give that kheer. So when Pujari was sleeping at night, Gopinath came into the dream of that Pujari. He said that I have kept hidden one pot of kheer, which you did not notice, behind the curtain. And I have kept this for Madhavendra Puri. Please give this pot of kheer to Madhavendra Puri. So the dream broke. So Pujari woke up, he took bath, immediately went to the temple, opened the altar, and exactly the same location what the Lord said, that pot of kheer was there. And he thought that Madhavendra Puri must be a brilliant personality. The Lord is stealing kheer for him. And he started searching for Madhavendra Puri in the market. Where is Madhavendra Puri? Where is Madhavendra Puri? You are the most fortunate person. The Lord has stolen kheer for you. Lord has stolen kheer for you. Right? What a wonderful pastime. And Madhavendra Puri came out, and that Pujari gave that kheer, the pot of kheer, to Madhavendra Puri. So Madhavendra Puri was in ecstasy. He took the kheer, then washed the pot, then he broke the pot into small pieces and wrapped up in his clothes. And every day he used to take one piece of that earthen pot and experiencing love of God. So for him, kheer and pot, non-different. For us, kheer is more important. Pot is insignificant because we don't have that transcendental position. That is a problem. But still, whether we have transcendental position or not, that kheer is very tasty. Till now, that kheer is offered to Gopinath deity. And those who have gone to Remuna and those who have not gone to Remuna also, I think you have tasted that kheer. If you have not, please taste that. It's Amrita Keli. It's a nectar. And because Gopinath stole the kheer for his devotee, so his name also was changed. From Gopinath, his name changed to Kheerchora Gopinath. That Gopinath who stole kheer for his devotee. And that is the beauty of Krishna. Krishna's one name is Partha Sarathi. Partha Sarathi, who is the chariot driver of Partha Arjuna. So driving is not so aristocratic profession, right? At least in this country. So the parents don't say that, oh, my son has become taxi driver. They don't say loudly and proudly, oh, my son has become taxi driver. If someone has become engineer, doctor, professor, they say, yes, my son is like that. But no parents declare proudly that my son or our son has become a driver. But Lord is proudly declaring, I am the driver. Right? So I am the chariot driver of my devotee, and he is very proud about that. That is the symptom of love. When you love someone, you are ready to do any service for that beloved. That is a symptom of love. So in this world, that kind of love is very rare, not there at all. Prabhupada said there is some symptom of that love in the dealing between the mother and her child. Some symptom of love is seen in this world. Other than that, there is no love. Everybody is thinking what I'll get. Any relationship, what people think, what I'll get. Nowadays in that relationship also, parental relationships also, there is that kind of feeling is coming nowadays. But normally they don't think like that. The mother does everything for the child. She does not discriminate. Oh, this is not good service, that is good service. Whatever is needed for the child, she is ready to do with love. In the same way, the Lord is ready to do anything for his devotees, because Lord loves his devotees very much. And chariot driver is not a good profession in social custom, but Krishna is driving the chariot not in ordinary circumstances. He is driving the chariot in the battlefield. And in the battlefield, the warrior has no time to talk, to give direction to the driver. What he does, he uses his limbs. He uses the leg, the foot, and he kicks at the driver. If he kicks at the right side, then you have to go right. If you kick at the left, then you have to go left. And if you are getting kicked at the middle, then you have to go straight. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is getting kicks from his dear devotee Arjuna and becoming very happy with that. Right? Mothers also get kicks from their children. But children, they forget. But mother does not forget. That's why Lord does not forget. But we, the conditioned soul, forget. Krishna never forgets us. But we forget him. And when we forget Krishna, what happens? Krishna bhuli shaijiv anadi bohir muk. Ateb maya tareday sangsaradi duk. So when we forget Krishna, then we enter into suffering. But we forget that also. Why? We are suffering. And some people don't understand also they are suffering. The greatest enlightenment in the life of a conditioned soul, when they realize that they are suffering. That is the greatest benediction. Many people think that we are okay. I am okay, you are okay, everybody is okay. No problem. Somebody went to see a person in the hospital having all tubes, all kinds of tubes in his body and asking, how are you? I am okay. They are suffering left, right, and center, but they are thinking they are okay. Why? Because they don't have any idea of higher happiness. They don't have any information and clue that there can be a life without problem. And some people become frustrated. You don't have any problem in your life? If you don't have problem, they become frustrated. Because the goal of life is to deal with problems. That is the goal. If you don't have problem, too much shanti is very difficult. Over too much peaceful, I want some anxiety. Otherwise, they go into depression. Too much peaceful. And I have seen that also. If nothing, no worry, nothing, no problem, too peaceful, everything is happening nicely, depression. Why? Everything is very peaceful. So therefore, we have to understand that we are not in a good condition in this material world. Every step there is a danger. Every step there is a danger. Anytime we can die. How we can be good here? That is the avaranatmika shakti, the covering potency of the material energy. Everything is covered over. We don't understand our situation. But a pure devotee, even if a practicing devotee, understands that. The precarious condition of this material nature, the dangerous situation of this material world, he realizes, she realizes. And what is the safest place? The safest place is the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. And in this age of Kali, the safest place where Harinam Sankirtan is there. Prabhupada said, the holy name is the only safest place in this material world. So when someone takes shelter of that holy name, then there is no question of any danger in that person's life. So therefore, you have to take shelter of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Gopinath became very famous. He was already famous, but he became more famous when he was connected with Madhavendra Puri. And Krishna is very happy about that. Oh, why I need Madhavendra Puri to become famous? Madhavendra Puri became very famous because of Gopinath. Gopinath became very famous because of Madhavendra Puri. And that is a competition. Devotees want to make Krishna more glorious, and Krishna wants to make devotees more glorious. Competition. This is called spiritual competition. But material competition, what is the material competition? I want to be the most famous. Right? East or West, I am the best. And who are in illusion? Those who do not recognize me as the best person, the cause of all causes. Right? They are in illusion. So that is material concept of life. But spiritual concept of life, they want to make others famous. Giving credit to others, that is the spiritual platform. And taking credit for himself, that is material platform. And this world is the world of taking credits. I have done it. If anything wonderful, who has done it? Me. I have done it. If anything wrong happens, then who has done it? He has done it. So giving credit is not there. What is available? Giving blames and taking credit. But who is a spiritual leader? Who takes the blame and gives the credit? Completely opposite. Very difficult, but that needs to be practiced. So here, Gopinath name has been changed, and now he is very popular as Kirchar Gopinath. But Madhavendra Puri understood that this news will spread. That deity has stolen kheer for me, and I will become very famous. And people will come to offer dandavat and take blessings. And he thought better to leave this place. So before sun rises, he left that place. He was running actually towards Jagannath Puri. But although he was running, the news spread before him, before he reached Jagannath Puri. And that is the position of a pure devotee. They don't run behind fame. Rather, fame runs behind the devotee. So you have to decide. In this world, people run behind fame, right or wrong. And what happens to pure devotee? He runs away from fame, and fame is running behind that pure devotee. So he was very pure, and this message, definitely that Lord, the deity has stolen kheer, is a very famous news. And that made Madhavendra Puri a very famous person. So whenever he meets someone, he asks, oh, Gopinath stole kheer for you. So he thought that I cannot stay in Jagannath Puri for long also. Better I collect all the sandalwood and go back to Vrindavan. So that is a test. That someone is experiencing the higher taste of Krishna consciousness or not. If someone is experiencing the taste of Krishna consciousness, then he'll not be hankering for the taste of being famous. But if someone is trying to become famous, that's the proof that he has no taste in devotional service. That is a proof. So Madhavendra Puri was not interested at all. He wanted to leave. It's like he says that better to leave this place very quickly. And he approached different persons and they organized sandalwood because Gopinath told Madhavendra Puri in the dream. So they all were ready to give. Immediately they gave charity because Madhavendra Puri did not have any money. But he just came to collect. See, he does not beg for his own food, but now he is collecting for the Lord. So that is a principle. That is a symptom of love. When you love someone, you are ready to do anything for that person. That is a symptom of love. Madhavendra Puri, he is not even begging for his own food. If someone gives food, then he eats. If someone does not give food, he fasts. That is the position of Madhavendra Puri. But same Madhavendra Puri is now begging for Gopinath, not Gopinath, Gopal. And people are very happily giving large quantity of sandalwood along with camphor. And also you have to go through the different border. Tax collector will be there. You should not think that time there was no tax. Tax is always there. So he does not have any money to pay. So he got all the paperwork done. Tax clearance paper. He doesn't have to pay. And that time was not that time it was a Muslim government also. And he had all the papers. And with that paper, he was going back to Vrindavan. Then on the way also, he reached at Remuna. And he was already famous in Remuna. Pujari already knew his glories. So he was received very nicely, offered a lot of reception, prasadam, everything. Then at night, again another dream. Gopal appeared for the third time. Gopal said, Madhavendra Puri, I am very happy with your service, but you don't have to come to Vrindavan. I am there in the form of Gopinath at Remuna. If you use that sandalwood for Gopal on the body of Gopinath, then I will receive the service. So you don't have to come to Vrindavan. So that is another significant aspect of Madhavendra Puri's journey to serve Gopal. So Gopal told him to go, but he is telling not to come now. Very interesting. So Lord has put him in difficulty. It's not an easy thing to do for an old man to walk so far and coming back holding heavyweight sandalwood. So when that test was given to Madhavendra Puri, Lord wanted to show to the whole world how Madhavendra Puri is facing that test. And Madhavendra Puri passed that test. And when he passed that test, then Lord said, okay, no more travel to you. You stay at Gopinath, Remuna, and continue your devotional service there. So Krishna is very, very merciful. Krishna gives the difficulty. yesterday we were discussing, this world is the world of difficulty. Whether you are a devotee or not a devotee, difficulty will be there. Whether you are a sadhaka or a siddha, you will get difficulty. Whether you have developed prema or not, you will get difficulty. Anybody and everybody in this world has to face difficulty. Then question may arise, then what is the use to being a devotee? Right? Outsiders, those who are not in the process of devotional service, they are also suffering. Devotees, they are also suffering. And what is the point to become a devotee? Doubt comes. But we have to understand there is a difference between difficulties faced by people, those who are not in devotional service, and difficulties faced by different levels of devotees. There's a big difference. First difference is that difficulties coming to the life of a person who is not in devotional service is because of his karma. But a difficulties coming to a devotee who is fully surrendered to Krishna is coming from Krishna himself. That's the first difference. Because Krishna takes control of the life of a devotee who is fully surrendered. And I discussed yesterday, someone who is surrendered to Krishna, Krishna protects that devotee. What is the meaning of protection? Protection means protecting his pure devotional service. And he protects that, whatever he has, and also helps him to improve. That is the meaning of Krishna's protection of his devotees. And when someone is fully surrendered, he is almost pure, but he is not completely pure. Subtle desires are still there in the heart. And how to purify that subtle desires? Putting him into difficulty. Unless someone goes through difficulty, it will not purify that person. So without difficulty, we cannot attain Krishna. Without difficulty, we cannot attain love of God. It's not a life of comfort. It's a life of discomfort. But what is the difference? Outside people, they take discomfort for the satisfaction of their senses. But devotees, they take discomfort for the satisfaction of the senses of Krishna. That is the difference. And devotees can take any kind of discomfort. Any kind. They are ready for that. And it depends on the level of devotees also. You should not try to imitate the advanced devotee. But the principle of pure devotional service is that a devotee who is at the higher level of Krishna consciousness is ready to take any kinds of hardships for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, Madhavendra Puri is showing that example. That how he is facing the difficulty. And this sandalwood also is a great example. Sandalwood is very fragrant, right? It's coming within few months that Akshaya Tritiya is coming. That time we'll paste the body of Krishna with sandalwood pulp. But if you keep the sandalwood like that, the fragrance will not be so much. How fragrance comes out from that sandalwood? When it is grinded, when it is rubbed, when the sandalwood goes through rough experience, right? Then the fragrance emanates. In the same way, the devotees are also like sandalwood. They are very fragrant. But the fragrance of their love, the fragrance of their pure devotion to Krishna will be emanated when they are in difficult situation. Otherwise, fragrance will not be available to others. The glories of devotional service, the glories of pure devotees will be known to the whole world when the pure devotees are in difficult situation. Simple life, easy life, peaceful life is not glorious. What is glorious? When someone is facing the difficulty in a Krishna conscious way, that is glorious life. That's why great devotees of the Lord in the history are put into difficulty by Krishna to establish their glories. Pandavas were in difficult situation, all kinds of difficult situation at every step of their lives, but they always remain fully Krishna conscious at every stage of their difficult life. That's their glory. Prahlad Maharaj, even from his during his pregnancy also, he was in difficult situation. Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb and demons, demigods wanted to kill him. That is Prahlad Maharaj, the Mahabhagavat, the pure devotee of Lord Nishingadev, who is the protector. He is putting his devotee in that condition. Lord Nishingadev is supposed to protect devotees from difficulty, no? That's why we pray every day. But his dearmost devotee, Prahlad, what was his situation? Very comfortable situation. He was in extreme difficulty. Extreme difficulty. But Prahlad was experiencing difficulty? No. Because he was at the lap of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's the question of difficulty. Externally, it looks difficulty. Someone was asking yesterday, if a pure devotee, when some difficulties come, they experience the difficulty. I told them, when someone is at the level of prema bhakti, what to talk about experiencing difficulty? For them, difficulty, happiness, liberation does not exist. He does not have any experience, does not have any feeling of that. That is the stage of Sandaratma Visheshatma. One of the symptoms of love of Godhead, one of the characteristics of love of Godhead, prema bhakti, is Sandaratma Visheshatma. It's condensed bliss, extremely condensed bliss. And in that blissful condition, devotee does not have any feeling that sense gratification exists. He does not have any feeling that liberation exists. He does not have any feeling that difficulties exist. No feeling, no material feeling. Because this bliss is highly condensed bliss. Bliss is there at the level of sadhana bhakti also. Bliss is there at the level of bhava bhakti also. Bliss is there at the level of prema bhakti also. So sadhana bhakti bliss is characterized by subodha. Then bliss of bhava bhakti is characterized by moksha lagutakrit. And the bliss of prema bhakti is characterized by sandaratma visheshatma. What is the meaning of subodha? Subodha means that happiness of devotional service is superior to liberation. The happiness of pure devotional service is superior to the happiness of liberation. That is the meaning of subodha. And what is the meaning of moksha lagutakrit? When the happiness of liberation becomes insignificant. Moksha laguta. Laguta means insignificant. Moksha. Liberation becomes insignificant to a person who has achieved the level of bhava. And those who have achieved the level of prema, what is the situation? That is sandaratma visheshatma. For them, liberation does not exist. Liberation, what is that? So that is the situation of a person who attains the level of prema bhakti. So Prahlad was at that level. So for him, suffering, implication. So when he is put in the fire god, in the fire god is protecting him. He's having a cooling effect in fire. Oh, I am in air-conditioned room. That is Prahlad. When the snakes are biting, Ananta says, so it's like a nectar. So externally looks like that he is implicated, is inflicted by the material pangs, but he is experiencing the bliss of Krishna consciousness. Why? Because Prahlad was completely absorbed in Krishna. What is the meaning of prema bhakti? What is the symptom of a person who is at the level of Braja prema bhakti? It's very important aspect. We talk about Braja prema bhakti, Braja prema bhakti. What is that? Rupa Goswami is giving explanation by a beautiful verse. He is telling the symptom of raga or symptom of that kind of prema is, it's a spontaneous, intense absorption in Krishna. Completely absorbed. And why? Because they have a spontaneous, deep thirst for the object of love. They're thirsty for who? Krishna. When someone is thirsty, what will come into his remembrance? Water. If someone is thirsty for Krishna, what will come to his remembrance? Krishna. Deep, continuous absorption, the thought of Krishna is a symptom of raga. And that is a result of spontaneous, deep thirst for the object of love. These are the terms used by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Prahlad Maharaj was completely absorbed in that thought. So here also Madhavendra Puri is completely absorbed in that thought. And he was not affected by any kinds of difficulty. And he got the instruction from Gopal deity that you don't have to go back or come back to Vrindavan. You render your service here. And by following that instruction, he established a system of having the seva of sandalwood pav putting on the body of Gopinath, and Chandan Yatra festival began. Since time immemorial it is there, but through Madhavendra Puri, this service has been manifested again in this world. And that's why Madhavendra Puri is very glorious devotee. Through him, the service of Chandan Yatra has been manifested by Gopal and Gopinath. So, and at the end, he left his body by remembering Krishna in the mood of Radharani. He chanted a verse. We don't have time. Time is up. So that verse was personally spoken by Srimati Radharani. And Radharani was feeling intense separation from Krishna when Krishna went to Mathura. And that mood is the mood of our Gauriya Parampara. Love in separation. That is the mood Mahaprabhu wanted to give. And that is given in the 7th verse of Sikhastakam. Jugaitang nimeshena chakshusha pabrisaitam sunnaitang jagat sarvang govinda virahename. That is the mood of separation. Mahabhav in the mood of separation. And what is that? What is the result of that Mahabhav? A moment separation is like a juga, and a union of a juga is like a second, a moment. That is a symptom of love in separation. The Brajavasis, especially the gopis of Vrindavan, experienced that bhava, and same bhava was experienced by Mahaprabhu. And Madhavendra Puri also experienced that same bhava, and he chanted this famous verse, which was uttered by Srimati Radharani herself, and he left his body from this material world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he chanted this verse, remembering Madhavendra Puri's disappearance, he fainted on the ground unconscious, because Mahaprabhu was also experiencing the same mood what Radharani was experiencing, what Madhavendra Puri was experiencing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Madhavendra Puri ki jai, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Question, comment, reflections.
Puri. आपको
Not Madhavendra Puri, I told Haridas Thakur example. Yeah. Chanting as a sadhaka and chanting as a siddha. Gopis Gali is also chanting. When the gopis chastise Krishna, that is also chanting of the holy name. They don't chant from Vedas, no? And when Brahma chants Vedic mantras, Krishna is not interested. I am more interested in chastisement of the gopis. So whatever the Brajavasis speak, that's a song. That is spiritual word. But we have to chant mantra as a Vaidhi sadhaka. We don't have that love, but we are practicing it to get that love. That is the meaning of chanting here. And chanting there is the perfection. They are chanting out of love. It's not that he has to chant in the bead and chanting with mala. There is no sin like that in the spiritual world. Mala is needed in this material world actually, as a sadhaka. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. At every stage of Madhavendra Puri, one lesson was coming. It was very helpful. And regarding that sandalwood example, it grinds, then it gives the fragrance. So, is it necessary that one has to undergo tribulation? As we see in the scriptures, most of the pure devotees like Pandavas, etc., they have gone some of the other tribulations, Prahlad Maharaj. But also on the other side, we understand bhakti is apratihata. It is not conditioned by any external situation. And Prabhupada's purport very clearly tells that the hearing experience is better than the physical experience. So, no doubt Parikshit Maharaj also had to go undergo trouble of curse, etc. But we see that it means apratihata means what I am understanding. It is not necessary that one has to undergo a very tribulation to get bhakti or Shuddha Prem. So how to reconcile this understanding?
Where from you got this understanding? What is the source of this understanding that in order to get bhakti, you don't have to go through tribulations?
Means I'm trying to understand because one of the purport says that hearing is a better experience rather
What
than
is
just
the connection with tribulations and hearing?
means as we understand that it is necessary to undergo a tribulation for anybody to get higher taste, like all this Prahlad Maharaj as you were describing. They had to undergo, and without that sandalwood being grind, it doesn't come out the fragrance. So do we understand that any pure devotee or a sadhaka, before reaching the pure devotional stage, he has to undergo some
Definitely he has
tribulation?
to go.
Okay.
Everybody has to go through anartha nibriti. Unless you go through anartha nibriti, how you can become apratihata bhakti? Apratihata bhakti is nishtha bhakti. Nishtha means steady. Steady means what? He should render devotional service in any condition of life. Happiness, distress, winter, summer, birth, death, any situation of life, he is going to continue his devotional service. That is the meaning of apratihata bhakti. So pratihata means hindrance. So any difficult situation can create hindrance to a person who has achieved the level of nishtha bhakti. But someone who is not at the level of nishtha bhakti, his devotion will be hindered. Just like when we have fever and other diseases, other difficulties, our intensity of devotional service goes down. That is anishtita bhakti. But those who are at the level of nishtha, when difficulties come, their intensity of bhakti increases. That is a symptom of advanced devotee. So those who are not advanced, difficulties will reduce the intensity of devotional service. And those who are advanced, difficulties will increase the intensity of devotional service. But difficulties will be there both for advanced and not advanced devotees. Okay. And if someone is thinking that I will have a comfortable life without any difficulty, Prabhupada said that is phantasmagoria. Does not exist.
Hare Krishna.
Read there in,
It's in the
yes, very high level person. It needs time to discuss. Time is up. He's talking about Radharani's mood of separation from Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for a wonderful class. Just trying to understand, should we, as a practice devotees, should we try to imbibe the mood of Madhavendra Puri? Or if yes, how or what he should do?
What mood we are talking about?
The various mood you explained now. How
Many moods. I explain what mood we are talking about.
So, as a sadhakas, what we should do?
You are asking a general question. You should be a little specific. What mood you are thinking in your mind? Be specific.
One of the mood is that not looking for glorification.
Yeah, talk about that. We want glorification. And Madhavendra Puri, not want, he, what I can say, is disgusted to hear glorification. He is disgusted, we are not wanting, we are captivated. That is Madhavendra Puri and us. We hanker for glorification. When people will be in transcendental knowledge, understanding my glories and glorify me. So we are hankering for that. But Madhavendra Puri is completely opposite. Why? It cannot be artificially imitated. You can practice it. If someone is experiencing the unlimited bliss of Krishna consciousness, for them it is insignificant drop. For them it does not exist. You understand? So it cannot be logically understood unless you experience that kind of bliss. It's not possible to be free from this kind of from the bliss of this material world. Something is there in this material world. No, why? Then we are continuing our journey. It's nice. We like it. That's why you're here. No, if you don't like it, you will not be here. So you are still here means you like it. That is a proof. We like Jarananda. That's why we are in this material world. So when we will start liking Premananda, Sevananda, then this Ananda of this material world will become insignificant. But till that happens, you have to tolerate and continue the journey, understanding philosophically that the bliss of Krishna consciousness is much higher than the happiness of material sense enjoyment. Philosophically, we should be convinced first. That is Shraddha. If you don't have Shraddha, then journey will not be effective. Okay? We cannot imitate the mood of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is the highest level of prema. We can learn from it and apply in our life. Anything else? Zoom, any question?
Prabhu,
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, yesterday in class you mentioned that it is predicted that anybody who takes prasadam in Shantipur gets pure love of Godhead.
Okay, like that idea.
So,
Thank you so much.
so Prabhuji, so before going to that, do we need to acquire some specific qualification to achieve that?
It all depends on your Shraddha. Why to take prasad? One name of Krishna is enough to give love of Godhead. As soon as someone chants Krishna, he should experience love of God. That is a prediction of Shastra. It's not happening. It will not happen for Prasad also. One dip in Radha Kund, love of Godhead. One dip in Kusum Sarovar, Gopi Deha. But so many things are said, but things are not happening. Why? Because we don't have that qualification. That's why follow the process given by the acharyas and experience that. Wait for that. It's not going to happen automatically. It's not a magic show in the morning. You wake up and experience love of God. It's not going to happen. We have to be very, very strictly following the principle of sadhana bhakti. Then one day, when we mature our Krishna consciousness, it will be given by Krishna through his representatives. Okay?
Okay.
But very nice that you have got attraction for that. Hare Krishna. Any question from? So we'll end here today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Binda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is the most auspicious occasion of the Gaur Purnima festival. So we request all the devotees to kindly come in the morning and attend the Bhagavatam class directly here only as far as possible. So that Prabhuji is also saying that I told that day that Prabhuji asked, Gaur Purnima day devotees will be coming. I said, Prabhuji, evening almost all will come, morning few may come. Then Prabhuji said, why? Prabhuji may be office and other things. On the day of Gaur Purnima office, can't they take leave on the most auspicious occasion of the Gaur Purnima? So this was the Prabhuji's reaction. So devotees can think of whatever is possible. But if possible, can come in the morning and take the Shringar Darshan, attend Bhagavatam class and all. And again in the evening, the celebration will start from 4 o'clock onwards with the Kirtan. 4:30 we'll have the Gaurnita procession to New Temple, and followed by Abhishek at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6 o'clock. And 6 o'clock we'll have again the festival Katha by His Grace Sankarshan Nitai Prabhu. And then 6:45 fast breaking time, the moonrise is there, and 6:45 Prasadam will start, and then the Mahagaur Arti followed by the Kirtan continues. So we request all the devotees to kindly come and take part in this, the most auspicious occasion of the Gaur Purnima festival. Hare Krishna.
So Mahaprabhu will appear if there is also sound of the congregational chanting of the holy name. So Mahaprabhu disappeared from this planet. Then when Narottam Das Thakur performed the first Gaur Purnima festival after Mahaprabhu's disappearance 50 years later at the Kheturi Dham, Janava Mata was given the information by Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself that please go to Kheturi and participate in this festival, because I am going to appear there and take part in the Sankirtan led by Narottam Das Thakur. Not only me alone, with all my associates, those who wrapped up their pastimes also, all of them will appear and chant and dance with all the devotees there at Kheturi. So Mahaprabhu fulfilled his promise when Narottam Das Thakur was singing, leading the Kirtan in Garanhati style. Narottam Das Thakur's Kirtan style is Garanhati, special style of Kirtan. When that Kirtan comes to a climax point, then Mahaprabhu, along with Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivas, and all other associates appeared in front of all of them, and they all could see Mahaprabhu is there. So that thing can happen to anyone, provided we develop the mood of Narottam Das Thakur in complete absorption in chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So when that kind of mood is created, Mahaprabhu can be appearing in ISKCON Cultural Center, South Bengaluru also. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.